A man named David just hit $10 million in the bank. Not inheritance, not crypto luck, he built it over 20 years. And last week, sitting in his quiet suburban living room, he told a friend the exact same thing you've probably told yourself. I still don't feel rich. $10 million. And he doesn't feel rich. That sentence sounds insane. Until you realize it's not rare, it's the rule. The richest feeling person you know is probably not the richest person you know. And the person everyone thinks is rich, half of them are one paycheck from a panic attack. So today, I want to ask a question that money documentaries almost never ask. Why does winning the money game feel like losing it? Here's the part nobody warns you about. It has a name, the hedonic treadmill. Scientists noticed decades ago that when people get a raise, buy the bigger house, or even win the lottery, their happiness spikes. For a while. Then it slides right back down to where it started. Not because they're ungrateful, because their baseline moved. What felt like luxury at $50,000 feels like survival at $200,000. There's a classic study on lottery winners. Years after winning, they measured roughly the same happiness as people who never won at all. Same baseline, same treadmill, just faster. Think of happiness and wealth like a thermostat. Your brain is the thermostat. No matter how much money you add to the room, it always resets to the temperature it's used to. So the guy making $10 million feels exactly as rich as he felt when he made $80,000. Because to his brain, he's been at this level for years. But here's the twist, and this is the part that changes how you see money forever. The people who feel rich aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones whose money they can actually see. Remember your channel's core question. What does real wealth look like that you can't see? A guy driving a $150,000 car? That's not wealth. That's money that's already left him. The car is visible. The wealth is gone. A woman in a modest house, in a modest car, who's been quietly investing for 15 years? Her wealth is invisible, but it's real and it's compounding. Here's the uncomfortable truth. What you can see about a person is usually their spending, not their wealth. And spending and wealth are almost opposites. So when you compare yourself to the flashy person, the one who looks rich, you're comparing your invisible progress to someone else's visible spending. Of course you feel poor. You're comparing apples to a car you can't afford. Now, why does this trap get worse every single year? 2 words, reference points. Your brain doesn't judge money in absolute numbers. It judges money relative to the people around you. There's a famous story about John D. Rockefeller, one of the richest men in history. A reporter once asked him, "How much money is enough?" His answer? Just a little bit more. That's not greed. That's how the human brain is wired. We're tribal animals. We evolved to compare ourselves to the person next to us, because in a tribe, relative standing was survival. But your tribe now isn't a village of 200 people. It's an infinite feed of everyone's highlight reel. And here's the trap that keeps you broke. Your reference group rises faster than your income. The year you buy the nice car, everyone in your feed has a nicer one. So the feeling of not enough never ever goes away, no matter how much you make. Before I show you the way out of this trap, this is the kind of mindset shift that completely rewires how you see money. If that's what you're here for, drop a comment with the word trap. Let me know if you've ever felt this. And make sure you're subscribed, because next week, we're breaking down how old money and new money actually look different. So here's the million-dollar question. If $10 million doesn't make you feel rich, what does? And the answer is genuinely counterintuitive. People don't feel rich when they have a lot. They feel rich when they have a gap between what they earn and what they need. This is the hidden psychology behind stealth wealth. The people who genuinely feel rich, not the ones who perform it, are almost always the ones living well below their means. That gap is the feeling. It's freedom. It's the quiet hum of, I could walk away from this job tomorrow if I wanted to. Money psychologists call this enough. And here's what the research keeps finding. The people who set a number, reach it, and stop moving the goalposts, they're the ones who feel wealthy. The people who never define enough, they make $1 million and still feel broke. The psychologist Dr. Brad Klontz calls these money scripts, the stories your family and culture handed you about money before you were old enough to question them. If your script says rich people are bad, you'll sabotage yourself every time you get close to wealth. If your script says more is never enough, you'll live rich and feel broke forever. So let me reframe what feeling rich actually is. It was never a bank balance. It's three invisible things. 1. The gap. Money you don't have to spend. That's the only wealth you can actually feel, because it's the only wealth that's still yours. 2. Time. The rich-feeling person owns their time. The broke-feeling person sells it. You can feel richer by owning 2 hours of your day than by buying a watch. 3. A defined enough. The goalposts have to stop moving. Until you decide what enough is, no amount of money will ever be enough, because your brain will keep chasing the next reference point forever. So the next time you feel poor next to someone who looks rich, remember David with his $10 million, who still doesn't feel rich. Wealth isn't what you see, it's the gap you can't see, the time you own, and the enough you finally chose. If this reframes something for you, hit like. It genuinely helps the algorithm find people who need this mindset. And tell me in the comments, at what number would you feel rich? Be honest, that's the first step to actually getting there. I'll see you next week, where we break down old money versus new money and why they look so different. Take care.